Well now.
Gosh!
Huh.
Hmm. Golly!
Uh...
Oh. Not exactly. I'm going to keep my promise to Nella. I'm going to build a kingdom where everyone can live happily ever after.
You are, huh? Good for you. Made my mind up too. I'm staying here, in this world. With you, Evan.
You are?
And thus young Evan, though heavy of heart, resolved to honor the dying wish of his dearest friend by becoming a king once more. And Roland, sensing something special in his youthful companion, decided to join him on his journey. Chapter 2: The Kingdom to Come.
Huh.
Yes.
Well now.
Not exactly. Hmm.
Oakenheart, Kingmaker of Ding Dong Dell, has recognized me as the rightful ruler of this realm. I stand before you, your new king!
Huh?
Hmm. Oh!
Huh? Huh.
Yes. best! Come on!
Here goes nothing. What's going on here?
Oh! What did I ever do to you, I ask? Oh, my goody goodness! Oh! Oh! You rotten devil of a thing, you!
Evan, come on.
I'll do my best! What in the...
Oi, you two! You can see my little lovelies, can't you? Why not have them lend you a hand?
I'm counting on you. Take that! Take
Oi!
I need your help. Excuse me.
Oh my! Righto! Now, get the plate. Pass it gently. Yes, good. Gentle. Dear, pass another one now. Yes, that's good. Yes. Thanks ever so much. Oi! Oh!
Huh?
Well now.
Hmm.
certainly.
Thank you. Careful, everyone!
Say. Huh.
Hmm.